All right, guys, the PWM 2025 movie room tour video has finally arrived. I'm going to do a quick pan around before we go over each section in the room. Had to make some lighting adjustments in here, so hopefully everything's nicely lit. Now, the reason for this room is because, well, it's badass, but my video game room was becoming overwhelmed with DVDs and Blu-rays, so I was like, you know what? Let me turn this third bedroom into a movie room. All right, so let's go over the electronic setup first. The second time I tried to record this video, there was some Tigo biddies.
Yo, phone microphones, yeah, I do it. Yeah, I came straight from the streets of Houston. Distribution coming up. Rolling on this microphone, next to piece of hot.
From this lady right here. The first time I tried to do it, I knew YouTube wasn't going to like that. So we have Trinitron Sony television right here. The amplifier is a Yamaha HTR 5440. Then under that is a Pioneer CLD 980 Laserdisc player. It's got the digital chapter track display down there, which I really like. And on the television and spinning in that Laserdisc player right now is Cyborg Cop. One of my favorite movies. And down here, this DVD player is a DVP S7000 reference standard. This was the Rolls Royce of DVD players back in the day when this first came out.
Damn!
If you can find one in working order these days, I would say definitely pick one up. It's an amazing DVD player. As you can see, it's a behemoth. It's almost as big as the Laserdisc player. And then I'm using JBL speakers. And then down here we have a Yamaha subwoofer on the floor. All right, next up here. Now, one of the main concepts of this room was to be able to Laserdisc, they don't display good. You know, when you have them side by side, and when you have big collections like mine, you have to do that, obviously, because they take up crazy space. They don't look good. You can't even read the spine on most of them, and it just looks terrible. It's not, you know, aesthetically pleasing. So the overriding concept of this room was to display some of my Laserdiscs. Now, from time to time, I'll change these Laserdiscs out with other ones to give it a new look, but I think it comes out looking really nice. Love the look of them because the artwork on Laserdisc players is just so badass. If you guys remember, I was trying to decorate. It didn't really work out because I had Laserdisc fall and I broke Laserdisc. I had them on the wall wrong and stuff, but putting them on top of the shelves like this works out really great. And then obviously having them inside of the adjustable shelving, which I want to, let's touch on that topic right now. So these shelves, I love these shelves, and I'm probably going to redo my video game room. Unfortunately, it's going to cost a lot of money, but I really need to have these shelves. I made the wrong decision when I bought shelves for my video game room. And let's go ahead into the video game room, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here is the majority of my shelves are exactly like this shelf. You have DVD size, non-adjustable, and you see how that's falling? So, and we'll talk about the depth in a minute, but, you know, enough to fit a DVD, which is perfect, right? It does stop right here, which is normal. It's not a big deal. I'm okay with all that, but this is where you run into an issue. Long box PS1 games or Sega Saturn games or 3DO games, they will not fit. So you have to store them like this, which is not any way to store your long box games. It doesn't look right. And by the way, this is just a mismatch of a bunch of different games. It's kind of like a in-between spot for organizing stuff, so don't pay no attention to the disorganization here. But this is no way to store your long box games, and this is why I will never buy shelving like this again. And I will go with the movie room shelving that I purchased, for that room. So now here's the other thing. Look at the depth of this right here. And when you have games that are worth, like, I don't know, Kuon, that's worth $800, you don't want it to fall out and break something that's worth that much money. So the depth on that is not good. That's another thing that I don't like. So let's go back in here and I'll show you. What's the best example I can do here? Probably over here. Move these to the side. See that? It actually goes in where there's a little bit of space right there. So that's the perfect depth. Now, the not perfect depth from the opposite side of the spectrum is this shelf. I made a mistake buying this shelf back in the day, but now I've actually turned it into a video game console shelf, which it works great. So I'm not mad at that. But the DVDs were getting lost in there. You can see how far back a DVD depth is. So it's not good for DVDs. It's not good for... Now, I was storing all my long box games, but I had to pull them to the front, and then I was wasting space in the back. So, now, here's the other thing about these shelves. In the middle, you have this... Well, here's a better example. So in the middle, you got all these beautiful movies, right, or video games, right, stored vertically. Everything looks great. And then you get to the middle, and you have to put them on the side. It just looks stupid. I mean, come on. It does not look good. You're okay with your PS1 collection because jewel cases will fit perfectly. But, again, or not again, but with jewel cases, look at all the wasted space you have here. So very important when you're putting a video game room and a movie room together to make sure you have adjustable shelves. Now, since we're in here, I guess we'll go over this. Some of my spare consoles. Now, some of these are going to be in the next Goodwill hunting video, so I won't go over the details on everything. But we have 3 N64s, 3 GameCubes. This is the Gale of Darkness Pokemon XD. Am I saying that right? Yep. Edition I got from Goodwill a long time ago. And then we have, this one has a Game Boy Advance player. I guarantee you that's like Metroid Fusion in there or something. One of the Metroid games. Nintendo Wii, we have a Wii U. We have, I forget the model number on these PS3s, but these are like some of the later models that were made, so they're very reliable. A couple of PS3s there. Xbox One, 3 Xbox Originals. This is the Halo Special Edition. I think a couple of those are modded. Then moving down here, we have another Xbox, PS2 Fat, couple Sega Dreamcast. One of these Sega Dreamcasts was in my last video that I grabbed from Goodwill. And then this is a recent pickup here. Sorry about the lighting. FZ10 Panasonic 3DO. Loving it. I'm a big fan of the 3DO. We got a couple of PS2 Fats down here. One of them is a Japanese model. A couple silver slim PS2s. And then a SingStar acrylic white PS1. And then we have a TI-99 4A computer, Texas Instruments. And then down here, which I can't believe I have this many 360s now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 360s. I've been picking up 360s left and right from Goodwill. And then to end it off here, we have one more Xbox One. All right, back to the movie room, because this is not a game room tour. All right, guys, let's rewind back here. A couple things that I forgot to cover. So right here, I have my TIAC AV200 audio video controller. Very nice. That was a Goodwill pickup. And then I have 2 retro consoles, both of which I picked up from Goodwill back in the day. I actually found the Sega Saturn in box at Goodwill. This is like 10 years ago. Both of them were about like a decade ago. But anyway, have not showed the 3DO love. The love that I should show it over the years. It's got, I would say this Gold Star unit's gotten light to medium use. I'm starting to use it a lot now. and really showing love to both of these consoles as deserved, because, you know, the 3DO is, to me, is a top 10 console ever made. The innovations and the first arcade ports that came to it was like no other before, and really kind of led the way in what modern gaming is today, in my opinion. Now, enough said about that. So the Sega Saturn here, in case you guys don't know, I picked up the Sega Saturn Saru, and you can see at the top right there it says insert SD card. So with this Saru technology here, you can load all the games onto this SD card and then have like all the Sega Saturn Japanese and American releases on your console. So you don't have to spend money, you don't have to blow money on Burning Rangers, and all these games are like $800, $900, $1,000. So I'm going that route with my Sega Saturn, but I still got a pretty decent physical collection as well. Now there's also a way to, there's all kinds of new things going on with the 3DO, where you can buy these chipboards and install them in your 3DO. I'm not sure if you can do it with the Gold Star. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do have the Z10 now, where you can also do the same, kind of a similar thing. You can get all the games loaded onto your 3DO and not have to spend these outrageous prices, because the 3DO and the Sega Saturn are just still out of control as far as games are concerned, as far as prices. All right, so I think that's it for the setup at the bottom there. We got some Laserdisc storage down there. By the way, I really like this little setup for retro gaming in small rooms like this. And I also have my game room is also pretty small. I might purchase one of these for my game room instead of getting a big, large TV stand that takes up too much space. All right, now, oddly enough, in a movie room, we have kind of a mix-match video game shelf here. But I was getting tired of storing my Sega Saturn games and my 3DO games horizontal, and I figured, you know what? Since I am playing the retro consoles, I might as well put the games in the movie room. So, starting off here, show off a few of the physical Sega Saturn games I have. And I won't go over, this is not a video game tour, but let's just go over a couple of the games that I picked up recently. Space Harrier, this is a big part of my childhood at video game arcades, man. And I had this on the Sega Master System as well, but the port was nothing like this. This is an amazing port. This is a highly sought after game, very expensive game, Mega Man 8. Steep slope sliders. Got some pretty good shit in here. Another game that I picked up recently that was also a big part of my childhood was Afterburner. Well, this is Afterburner 2. And now moving on into the 3DO games. This is a game that 3DO launched with, Crash and Burn. Starfighter there. Some loose stuff. I just picked up this recently, Slam and Jam. Really good basketball game for the 3DO. And then here's the long box games. A few of these are factory sealed. Guardian Wars factory sealed. Twisted. The Game Show. Good game to get together, get drunk with your friends and play. And then also this hitting baseball, what is it called? ESPN Baseball by IntelliPlay. That's also factory sealed. I still do not have the gun. It looks like it might be going down in price a little bit. The gun's super expensive for the 3DO, but that's an American laser gun game. I got a few of those that I've never played because I don't have the gun. Heart of a Tiger, or Wing Commander, Heart of a Tiger, or Wing Commander 3, Heart of a Tiger, Phoenix 3, which is a good 2D scrolling game, action game. And I'm really getting into the sports titles as well. golf, soccer. This is a phenomenal soccer game for the 3. I mean, this back then you had no game like this. There was no soccer game as good as this game. I'm not even a soccer fan, and I love this game. FIFA International Soccer. Wicked 18. This is the worst golfing game of all time. Do not play that game. It'll frustrate the hell out of you. And then just a small section of Sega CD games. I won't go into details on those. And then I have some of my, it's kind of a homage to Claude Van Damme. I have some of the Claude Van Damme movies on Laserdisc. Street Fighter, Sudden Death, Universal Soldier, Cyborg, Nowhere to Run, and Time Cop. And then at the bottom here we have some of the Leprechaun movies, if you guys can see. All right, now let's go over... I'll tell you what, let's have some fun here. Let's go over... I'm a big tagline fan. And taglines are what are supposed to make you want to buy the movie. Like back in the day, if you saw VHS or DVD at Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, you would read the tagline. It was supposed to motivate you to buy the movie. So let's look at all the top Laserdiscs here and see if we can pick out our favorite tagline. All right, I Come in Peace. Very good. I think this is a really underrated movie. This movie doesn't get talked about enough. Yeah, great film. Good Cop, Bad Alien, Big Trouble. All right, that's okay. It's not nothing too crazy. Sci-Fighters with Roddy Piper. In the year 2009, they're your only hope. It's okay. Snake Eater, as Dirty Harry, as dangerous as Deliverance. Not too bad. All right, this is one of my favorite movies that I've just found out about in like recent history. Serial killer movie, Houston Astro movie, Roy Scheider coming off of Jaws, who was, you know, the police chief there. Now he's a police chief in Galveston. I mean, everything comes together for just like the perfect film. Love this shit. And a very clever tagline on it too. I don't know if this will be our favorite, but probably the most clever. Strike 1, there's a killer on the loose. Strike 2, you never know where he'll strike next. Strike 3, too late. All right, Fright Night 2. A lot of people don't know that there's a Fright Night 2 that has, like, literally all of the cast of characters are back, except for, I think, the girlfriend. And the tagline on this I love. The suckers are back. One of the most underrated Friday the 13th movies of all time, Part 5. And they have no tagline on this. Shame on you, Paramount Home Video. All right, one of my favorites that I've just recently found out about. Cult classic, Scanners 3, The Takeover. One of the cheesiest horror movies I've ever seen, and some of the best practical effects you'll ever see in a movie. And the tagline is, the terror has not ended. It has just begun. Again. I don't know about that one. All right, Surviving the Game, another cult classic, Ice-T. The rules are simple. Kill or be killed. Kind of basic. Nothing too special there. And Gate 2. There's only one thing more terrifying than the first visit. The second. All right. Kind of rock with that. And then Phantasm 2. By the way, this is factory sealed. And the tagline is, the ball is back. Probably my favorite tagline so far. Simple, but right to the point and pretty badass. All right, I did a second viewing on this movie last night, Skeeter. And by the way, I'm coming out with a top 10 reasons to collect Laserdisc in 2025 video. Did I say 2024 at the beginning of this video for the room tour? If I did, I'm sorry. It's 2025. Anyway, but yeah, this is the most ridiculous. This is like a cross between a. Well, anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. This might be in that top 10 reason video, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Is it as good as Mosquito? Probably not, but it's not too far under Mosquito for me. And the tagline is, Earth is the final battleground, or breeding ground. All right, next up here, I think my boy Ty Lord sent me this one, and really cool Cyborg film, Heat Seeker. Meet the ultimate warrior in cyber technology. All right, next up here we have Talons of an Eagle. All right, when you're fighting crime, killing is a way of life. I am not too impressed with these taglines. Next up, we have Maximum Force. By the way, this is a PM Entertainment. God, dog, look at all the dust up here. Not dust, but look at all the what is it, sand? It's literally sand. Why would there be sand up here? It's so odd. Oh, maybe I drilled hole. Yeah, that's what it was. I drilled holes for the brackets. All right. So no tagline on this. Shame on you, PM Entertainment. I would expect PM Entertainment to always have taglines on their films. All right, next up, one of my favorite franchises of all time, and the second best cyborg in the history of the world. The only one that is better is probably Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that is arguable. Is Project Shadow Chaser 3000. For years, man's deadliest enemy has been lost in space. All right, next up, one of the best revenge films of all time. And I want to say, this does not have PM Entertainment written on it, but what? I feel like this is a PM Entertainment film. Yep, right there. See? PM Entertainment. And the tagline to this is, if I can get this set right, sometimes you have to take matters into your own hands. All right, next up, Nemesis. Rest in peace, Albert Pyun. And we have, in the future, it pays to be more than human. And then another movie from the Shadow Chaser films. This is the this is the last film in the franchise, Alien Chaser. His arrival, your departure. You have to watch the film to know why that's so funny. That's probably one of my favorite taglines. I'll let you guys tell me in the comments below which one you like the best. Crime, Cobra, crime is a disease, meet the cure. Which kind of fucks up the, it's kind of a description of the tagline, because like the quote in the movie from Schwarzenegger, or from Stallone is, if I remember correctly, is, I'm the disease. No, wait. You're the disease. I'm the cure. So it kind of changes it up a little bit. I don't know if that messes it up. But anyway, that's the tagline. All right, guys, that's it for the little tagline game. We could go over the other Laserdisc in here, but I guess we'll just go over the Laserdisc in general. We've already went over those. Raw Deal, Chud, No Contest, and we had, and that, by the way, that's Robert Davi and why am I thinking Robert Van Clay for? Dice Clay.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
And we have Howling 5, The Rebirth, Hellraiser, Hellhole. That's another cult classic in my opinion. Now, a movie that needs no tagline, right? The Shining, Stallone, Rambo 2, Spawning, Piranha 2, The Spawning. It started as a vacation. I like that one. And then The Brood. This is going to be, I don't know why I'm thinking John Carpenter. It's not John Carpenter. It's, where is the name of the oh, David Cronenberg. This is like a body horror film. Not bad. It's actually a pretty good film. Then we have Bolo Young, Cynthia Rothrock, and Tiger Claws. The Time Guardian, which by the way has Princess Leia is in this. Not Princess Leia, but the actress that plays Carrie Fisher. Automatic, that's our boy Olivier Gruner. Really cool, like Die Hard, Cyborg, mixed mesh. Cyborg 2, Bad Blood with Lorenzo Lamas, Digital Man, Fist Fighter, Super Force, Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee, rest in peace. Another Brandon Lee vehicle. Showdown in Little Tokyo. Blood for Blood, Lorenzo Lamas. American Kickboxer 2. And I think the only other Laserdisc are Hellbound, Night Siege, this is Product Shadow Chaser 2. And then we have Laser Mission, another Brandon Lee film. All right, I guess we'll just go through some of the DVD highlights and Blu-ray highlights of my collection. This is one of the early, basically this is all Van Damme stuff here. This is one of the early Van Damme films. Another one's like I think No Retreat, No Surrender might have been his first flick where he was one of the stars or the co-stars. And this is one of the only movies here where he was the bad guy in that I can remember. Got a couple copies of that. Then I got some of the classic stuff. Kickboxer on Blu-ray. Probably one of the first movies that I've seen with Van Damme. Then we got a quad pack here. Hard Target, Sudden Death, The Quest, Lionheart, all classic stuff. And then we got some of the Universal Soldier films. Some of the newer stuff that he did that's not as good. You know, Wake of Death and Derailed. And then we have a movie where Danny Trejo massages Van Damme's feet in a very intimate manner.
You seem at peace, Johnny.
I think I am, Eddie. Boy, but we had some wild times, huh?
All right, guys, I'll try to get more serious now. All right, now, I'm a big shark movie fan. Obviously, Jaws is, you know, those are my favorite movies in the of any shark movie. But there are also some other good shark films that came out. This is a good trilogy right here. I wouldn't recommend part 3, but it's a strange trilogy as well. Open Water I consider a classic. Open Water 2 is weird because it hardly has anything to do with sharks, but it's still a really good film. I would definitely recommend checking it out. The Reef is a solid shark movie. Definitely check that one out. And then all the shark movies all the Jaws movies on Blu-ray. The Revenge is one of my favorite shark movies of all time. Might even go second behind the OG original. 47 Meters Down is pretty good. And this is a really good 4-pack right here, or collection here, because it has all the Shark Attack films. Cheesy, but solid shark films. All right, and then I have in 4K Jaws the OG, but I do not have a 4K TV, so there you have it. Now, moving on to the DVD films. Cyclone, it's kind of loosely a shark film. It has some shark elements into it. It's more about being stranded at sea and starving and dehydrating is probably the more of a factor, more of a danger than the sharks themselves. Sharks are actually what they're trying to survive on because they're trying to catch a shark, like a baby shark in one of the parts of the movie. Raging Sharks, where the sharks actually roar like lions. It's pretty fucking hilarious. I'm not really a huge fan of the Deep Blue Sea films. This is a cool, if you can't find the Blu-ray, get this Mega Shark 8 movie collection, because this also has all the Shark Attack films on it. And then we have Red Water with Lou Diamond Phillips and Coolio, which is really hilarious. Definitely recommend that one. Check that one out. Now, a while back, I picked up most of these, I think all of these Godzilla films at a Goodwill. Some collector must have donated them or passed away or whatever. But I'm starting to marathon all these Godzilla films. I got some really good ones. I posted these on Reddit and got a lot of advice on what to watch first and everything. Oh, I forgot to show this earlier. It's one of my favorite films. The First Power, Lou Diamond Phillips. Solid, like, devil worship, serial killer film. All right, moving on. All right, I'm really into Cyborg films, guys. Cyborg 2 is solid. Cyborg 3, not as solid, but it's still fun. And it's got like, it's got Wizard of Oz elements to it. It's really funny, man. You gotta check that one out. Cyborg Soldier films, not to be confused, by the way, with Cyborg Cop, and I believe one of the Cyborg Cop films is called Cyborg Soldier as well. It gets confusing with all these B movies. All right, this is a really good double feature here, guys. Future Zone, or Future Force and Future Zone with David Carradine. And I swear to God, I heard that David Carradine is drunk during the filming of both of these movies. And but these are solid films, man. Really cool, futuristic, cheesy, hacky B movie stuff. And Ted Pryor is actually in Future Zone. He's like the rookie cop. So definitely check those out. Solid films. And I got a lot of cheesy shit. Future Fear, Velocity Trap, Interceptor Force 2, that's not very good. What else is really solid in here? Omega Cop is good, man. Solid shit. Ron Martini. Adam West of Batman is in this. It's fucking unbelievable. This is one of my favorite collections of all time. Terminator collection. I believe I found this at Dollar Tree or $1.25 Bush. Cyber Vengeance is a cool film. Shadow Chaser. So the first Shadow Chaser film is on this. Otherwise, it's super difficult to find. And then Stormtrooper is another solid, like, Cyborg film. Then here we go. Yep. So, again, there it is. Cyborg Soldier. Not to be confused with the, what is it? Rich Franklin Cyborg Soldier film, which is actually pretty good itself. And then you have Terminal Impact. So there's 3 films in that franchise, starting with Cyborg Cop. And I think this is 2, and this is 3. And Frank Zagarino, I'm losing my mind here. Yeah, Frank Zagarino is, why am I thinking it's Frank Zagarini for some reason? I don't know why. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's Frank Zagarino. I'm losing my shit. I said that earlier. So he's part of the Project Shadow Chaser movies, right? So he's in this one. It's one of the first times I actually saw him in a movie. So pretty cool stuff. Abraxas. I've never seen this Jesse Ventura movie yet. I'm sure it's pretty good. It says it has Jim Belushi in it, of all people. Then we have the Cyber Tracker films with Don the Dragon Wilson, which are solid. And then this is a pretty popular quad set right here. T-Force is one of my favorite Die Hard Terminator ripoffs of all time. Really enjoy that film. I really wish there was a sequel to that, but it never happened. Some more cool stuff right here. How about a Karate Kid ripoff with Martin Kove in it? Pretty cool. And that is a PM Entertainment film, I'm pretty sure. Yep, PM Entertainment. Blood Moon, Gary Daniels. That's a solid film right there. Definitely check that one out. And what else? You got Anna Nicole Smith in To the Limit. Running Red. This is a solid flick. Jeff Speakman. He's like a Russian, has to move to America. And it's like a revenge flick. Rage is awesome. This is a... he's like picked up by immigration. Yeah, I believe it's like immigration is picking up all these, and they're trying to turn illegal aliens into like super soldiers and stuff. And he gets picked up too. And they give him the serum or some stuff. So he turns into like this superhuman. And he's... there's these amazing, like, on the top of, like, skyscraper, jumping off the top of a skyscraper, hanging from helicopters. There's some really cool falling like 100 feet and landing through glass. I mean, there's some badass action sequences in this film. Highly recommend that one. All right, moving down here. And I just noticed, I forgot to mention The Keep. Now, The Keep was finally released on, I think, 4K or Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure it's 4K by some boutique label, if I remember correctly. I don't know if they got the rights to Tangerine Dream, all the music, because that's what was holding it back all these years. So I don't know if stuff is still cut from it and they couldn't release the music or what's going on. I really don't know the story on it, guys. But I'm sure the value of this is going down big time now. All right, looks like we have a mixed bag of stuff here. Psy Warrior shouldn't be here. This is an awesome film. Look at the cover on that shit, man. Tell me that's not badass. That should be up here with the Cyborg stuff. Definitely recommend that one. Oh, this got Frank Zagarino in it too. Check it out. That's right. Frank Zagarino's the Psy Warrior. Awesome shit, dude. All right, Black Sunday. It's got my boy Robert Shaw in it. I've never seen that film, by the way. Once Upon a Time in the West. This is all mixed up here. It's one of the best Western films of all time. Spaghetti Western. Death Race 2000. I saw that in the last couple of years. Pretty good shit. Godfather 3 movie collection. I'm not going to go through all of these. Let me just pick, like, some of this stuff. Shadow Warriors. This is good shit right here, man. This will make you laugh, man. There's some hokey shit going on in this. But Carl Weathers and Hulk Hogan, like, how can you miss? Crime Zone. It's not the best film, but it's still good. I enjoy it. Then we got Shadow Warriors. This is good shit. More Cyborg stuff. I don't know why I have all this stuff mixed up. All this has to go up here with the Cyborg shit. All right, moving on. This is all, let me see. This is all Michael Dudikoff movies. I'm a big fan of Michael Dudikoff. Obviously, most people know him from the American Ninja stuff. This is a really cool set right here. All 5 movies, American Ninja. Virtual Assassin. This is Die Hard ripoff at its best. Really good Die Hard ripoff. Definitely check that one out. And then what else? American Ninja doubleheader 2 and 3 there. All right, what else here? Now these are all like action, like multi-pack movies. Let me try to see. I remember shouting out one of these movies a long time ago that nobody knows about. And it's called Deaden. So, and there's not too much else that I would recommend on it, but no one has ever talked about Deaden before. So, if you order this off of Amazon, this Most Wanted 10 movies, watch Deaden. The baddies in it are really well done, and there's some crazy sequences in that movie. I highly recommend that. That movie of all movies needs like a Blu-ray update or something to make it look better, because it doesn't look, it almost looks like a VHS rip. I haven't even opened this. What is this action pack? Oh, it's a bunch of shit. Chuck Norris films. Now this is kind of an infamous one or famous one. Bullets, Bombs, and Babes. This is the Andy Sidaris 12 film collection. Nothing but like Playboy, Penthouse playmates and stuff as actresses, like in all his films. That's what he's known for. And they're all like cheesy action films. Good shit. Bunch of crap there. All right, you get the point on that. Moving on here. All right, guys, there's a lot of good shit here, so it's going to be hard to get through this because there's so much shit I want to talk about, but the videos I know is running long, so I need to really kind of move through this. Kino Lorber stuff, Double Trouble. I'm not really a big fan of that. Cherry 2000 with Don Johnson, Melanie Griffin, some good shit. Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja. These are just amazing films. Sho Kasui, Franco Nero's in there. I think the third one is in a different spot, actually. And I don't know why it's in a different spot, but it's probably made by a different label or something. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. But what else do we have here? Cannibal Apocalypse, John Saxon, man, love that shit. The Penitentiary films are great. Beastmaster, 4K and Blu-ray. The Cellar, highly recommend this film. It's got a lot of like tribal folklore and a basically like an Indian folklore creature in the cellar. It's badass. I finally picked this up. Yeah, it's really good, man. The only reason I grabbed this is because Quentin Tarantino would not shut up. They kept on recommending videos to me on YouTube. And one of the videos was him just, you know, having an orgasm over this friggin' movie. Some cool shit. Hands of Steel. You might recognize that cover. That's the same cover as Psy Warrior. Some of those Italian films, they'll like use the same cover. Really cool film, though. I think this has got... yeah, it's got John Saxon in it, too. It's got arm wrestling in it and some cyborg shit, man. So, love it. The Last Hunter, good, like, Vietnam type of film. There's a killer rat sequence in this where rats are killing people. I think it's that sequence right there. It's absolutely terrifying. I love it. Some people talk shit about the New York Ripper. I really like that film. Lucio Fulci film. There it is right there. Ninja 3. All the ninja films are great. What else do we have? Naked Vengeance and Vendetta. Rape Revenge films. Solid. Oh, shit. I forgot I had this, man. This is a really good film right here. I saw this on streaming services. That's why it's sealed. I haven't opened it yet. Rolling Thunder with William Devane and Tommy Lee Jones. This shit's great right here, man. What's the real name of this? I'm trying to remember. I can't read Spanish. I don't know what the fuck it is. Hold on one second. I gotta tell you the name of this shit. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So the name of the movie is Death Machine, and this thing is incredible. Brad Dourif is a mad scientist, and he creates this robotic dinosaur, and that thing is terrifying, man. This is a really good flick. Definitely check that one out. Commando Ninja is hilarious, man. You gotta see that, too. Really funny. Deadly Prey is great. It's got Ted Pryor in it, and I've talked about that before. I'm not going to go into detail, but that's a really good film. All right, this is all Rutger Hauer stuff over here. Beyond Justice and Mega Doom. We got 2 copies of that. Good shit. Oh, shit almost fell over. Holy shit, what is going on here? Come on now. All right, we got all the rest of the stuff is Dolph Lundgren, Masters of the Universe. Love that. Grew up with it. Then you got a triple feature there. A few other films here. Silent Trigger. The gun in this is so badass. It's a sniper rifle like you've never seen before. It's incredible. We got the Alien Quadrilogy here. This is a foreign release, this Alligator 1 and 2, but a really cool Blu-ray. It's in English, and found that at a Goodwill. I got lucky. What else here? Found this recently at a Goodwill. Didn't even know it was on Blu-ray. Dog Soldiers. Great werewolf film. Friday the 13th stuff. Then we have Jackhammer Massacre on VHS. I actually have that on DVD. I found it at Half Price Books. Real nasty, just dirty, filthy film. It's got, I mean, obviously the guy, it's a power tool killer film. He's using which is hilarious, he's using a jackhammer, but it's corded. So I don't know if he has to use like an extension cord to kill people, like away from the outlets and stuff. It's so funny. But there's drug use, needle use, where they're like putting needles inside of like wounded arms. It's just disgusting. We got The Gate here. Love Hereditary, Halloween films, Insidious films. Look Away, I've talked about this before. Really good shit. I don't hear people talk about this a lot. Basically, she was a twin, but her parents didn't tell her. Her twin sister died at birth. So she never knew about her twin, and her twin is now living on the other side of her bathroom mirror, and it's the evil side of her. Really good shit. All right, let's move down here. All right, what do we got here? Chill Factor. I like that. I like it, man. I think it's a good film. It's fun. A lot of people hate on that. And, you know, I mean, it's low budget stuff, but there's some cool there's actually a kill with the icicle actually killing someone. And there's a couple of other really good kills in the film. One of my favorites right here from our boy William Friedkin, Cruising. Don't be hating on this shit. Creep Show 2, Angel Town, Oliver Gruner. We got Showdown. This is basically like a Karate Kid film. And Billy Blanks is the janitor at the school, so he's basically Mr. Miyagi. What else we got here? Mikey, Killer Kid film. What is this? Class of Fear. That wasn't really that good. Witch Trap, Split Second. It's awesome. What else do we have here? Bloody Moon. This is not really, I'm not going to recommend this. It's not really a great film or anything, but this actually happens, which is one of the coolest, like, power tool murders ever. And it's basically like a table saw murder. And they use a baby doll's head, which is fucking hilarious. But the lead up to it is terrifying. This girl's strapped to this like industrial table with this massive like skill saw heading for her head. It's done very well. Spider Labyrinth. That was kind of a weird movie. Had a good ending, but I don't know. Let Me In, The Mist, Monster Party. Okay, Moontrap. Really good film. It's got one of the most hilarious sequences I've ever seen in a sci-fi horror flick. This is like a $50, I think it's out of print, like a $50 Blu-ray. We talked about Skeeter earlier. This is Mosquito. And yes, Gunnar Hansen of Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame actually kills giant mosquitoes with a chainsaw. I cannot make that shit up. The Nest. I love my killer cockroach movies. Near Dark, speaking of out of print, it's like a $50 Blu-ray right here. Great vampire flick. Nail Gun Massacre. Just classic shit, man. Puppet Master. Phantasm 5-movie collection. Then we have Play Dead, Killer Rottweiler film. Another movie that no one ever talks about, Pigpen. Definitely recommend it. All right, what do we got here? Rest Stop. Always show love for Rest Stop. This has got one of the greatest horror names of all time, Slashdance. But it sucks ass. Sad to say. Summer of Fear, cool witch movie with young Linda Blair. Oh, she's probably like 19 in this. Something like that. What else? Shock 'em Dead. All right, Videodrome. David Cronenberg. Really cool shit. This is actually a... What kind of release is this? Oh, it's a Criterion release. Troll 2. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Steelbook. Vamp. One of my favorite vampire films of all time. And, of course, The Witch. I love that movie. All right, let's move on to DVDs, guys. All right, guys, we're about 50 minutes in, so I don't want this video to be too much longer than an hour, so I'm going to speed up the pace here. Vulgar, Kevin Smith film. It's not really that good, to be honest with you. And we got The Visit here. That's a M. Night Shyamalan film. I think it's a little bit overrated. It's not bad, but I think it's overrated. Witch House. It's a favorite of mine. Full Moon film. Back when Full Moon was doing good movies. Then you got Witch House 2 and 3. They progressively get worse. Actually, 3 is a little bit fun. We have a bunch of movie packs here, multi-packs. This is a favorite of mine. It's got 2 of the best crocodile films of all time, Blood Surf and Crocodile. Crocodile is, I think that's the Tobe Hooper one. Is that right? Yeah, Tobe Hooper film. And Blood Surf is just so outlandish. Let me see. There's another good multi-pack right here. It's got a couple of the Bloody Murder films, which are blatant friggin' Friday the 13th ripoffs, which I think is hilarious. Got some Tales from the Crypt stuff over there. Paranormal Activity. Working our way down here. This is an interesting double feature right here. These are 2 of the worst movies I've ever seen, but they're so bad that they're actually pretty damn good. Vampire Wars and Skeleton Man. Holy shit. Speaking of really bad, I think the first Killjoy is worth a watch. 2 and 3 are pretty horrible. And I think 4 is the one where Killjoy goes to hell. It's pretty decent, actually. Got the Leprechaun 8 film collection. This is what I grew up on, guys. Not Twilight Zone, but actually Tales from the Dark Side, man. I love this series, so I went ahead and bought the complete series there on DVD. Then we have all the Masters of Horror films. Jennifer, that's one of the better ones, and Pelts as well. All right, I think we need to go to the other side here. Trying to keep this organized best as possible. All right, I don't think we went over this stuff. So this is a very slippery slope here, guys. Obviously, Seagal made some badass films like Marked for Death, in the beginning. But then they just got so bad to the point where movies where he's just sitting in a chair the whole movie, movies where he doesn't even use his own voice. There's plenty of those, some of the recent stuff within the past 10 years. And at first I was going to collect all his movies, but I've just given up. I don't really want it. They're so bad that I just can't do it anymore. And you can see how much shelf space I've wasted on a bunch of trash movies. I mean, Fire Down Below is not too bad. Of course, Under Siege is good. What else? Out for a Kill. Is Out for a Kill good? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Getting them confused at this point. But anyway, don't go down that rabbit hole, guys. I warn you. All right, what do we have here? This is kind of a hodgepodge of different stuff here. Actually, this is a cool film right here. It's Star 80. What's the girl's name? Dorothy Stratton. It's based on a true story. She was like she's either a penthouse playmate or Playboy, but she was a beautiful chick. And it's a Bob Fosse film. Eric Roberts plays her scumbag boyfriend and actually kills her. Spoiler alert. I don't know why this is in here. Active Stealth. Oh, I thought that had another actor in it. All right, moving on here. 100 Tears. I've never seen a movie with such, from start to finish, there has to be 100 kills in the film. And they're all bloody, badass kills. But it's almost overkill. It's just too much, man. It's just, you got to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. It's crazy. ATM, I enjoyed that for what it was. Aqua Slash, it's a terrible movie, but it's pretty good, pretty funny. The Battery, it's a post-apocalyptic zombie film. Really enjoyed that one. Different. Then we got Bloody Murder 2. I mean, they did not give 2 fucks, did they? Blair Witch, I think the last sequence in this film is better than anything from the OG Blair Witch, in my opinion. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, moving on. See if anything sticks out. Everybody knows about the controversy with this film, Clown House. I won't even go into details about it. All right, here's the Ice-T section. So I love bad Ice-T films. It's one of my favorite pastimes is watching Ice-T bad films. Plus, you mix killer rat films, you have a winner here. Hood Rat, love it. And then anything that has to do with a plane and Ice-T is fucking awesome. Air Rage, Sonic Impact, Stealth Fighter, all just badass films. All right, this stands alone because it's just a masterpiece. It's one of the best films ever made. Sorcerer, William Friedkin. And then I got over here, I got the Brian Bosworth section. Yeah, believe it or not, he was in a few movies. Stone Cold, everybody knows about. But then also One Man Justice and Mach 2. All right, moving on. All right, where are we at here? Oh, okay, so down here we have the Lorenzo Lamas section. Just picked this up from Goodwill not too long ago. This actually worth some money. Renegade, the complete series. I've never watched an episode of Renegade, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's good because it was around for a while. And then we have a few films. The horrible Alien 3000. And then we have Chuck Norris films. Big fan of Chuck Norris movies. Definitely need to collect a lot more. So I don't have, believe it or not, I don't have too many. I think that's probably, there might be a few missing from this section, but I definitely need more Chuck Norris in my life for sure. No homo. All right, next up here, Evolver, really cool film. If I remember correctly, the kid in the movie plays this game and he wins a competition where he actually wins the Evolver robot and brings the Evolver robot back to his house, and the Evolver robot turns into this killing machine and starts killing everybody, man. It's fucking awesome. Feast, all you need to know about this is it's pretty terrifying. That monster is running around trying to rape women and men. Pretty scary, guys. Pretty scary. The Food of the Gods. This is so well done, man. Classic film. They basically used miniature like, you know, RVs and miniature sets, and then put actually real rats on the miniature sets so that it looked like the rats were humongous size. And they actually mixed that with people in rat suits and stuff too. So, I mean, it's a cool combination. Now, back when I was growing up, when you went into the video store, they had like, you know, like a section in the back that would have like pornos and stuff that kids weren't allowed. They would also keep the Faces of Death films. Turned out they was all fake, the Faces of Death stuff, which is kind of a letdown. Not really a letdown. I mean, you don't really want shit like that to be real, but I think you get my meaning. All right, where are we at here? Got a bunch of fighting stuff, Best of the Best, classic shit, Ninja Terminator, The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. Then you got Mortal Kombat, triple feature. Not everybody knows that there's actually a third movie. All right, we got basically these are revenge flicks right here, Blue Ruin and Red, White, and Blue. Red, White, and Blue is one of my favorite revenge flicks, man. Awesome shit. And then over here we have our boy Christopher Lambert. Don't sleep on those Fortress movies. They're really good. Fortress and Fortress 2, where he's trying to break out of a prison. It's a fortress prison. It's badass. Gunman is also a really good film. And Adrenaline is also, it's like a post-apocalyptic zombie film, man. Really good shit. All right, where are we at? License to Drive. Good shit. Taxi Driver Digibook. Ginger Snap films, Hellraiser films, Hate Crime. This is like a really like extreme home invasion film. Not for everybody, pretty extreme. Hitchhike, this is great shit. The Ice Cream Man. There's Jackhammer Massacre on DVD. King Kong versus Godzilla. I need to move that to the Godzilla section. We got all the Lake Placid films. Then we got some Stallone stuff. Post-apocalyptic movies here. Karate Cop is great. That's got Ron Marchini in it. And David Carradine, actually. And I think that's part 2 of... Let me see if we can find it here. Yeah, right here. Omega Cop. And this is the sequel, Karate Cop. Pretty badass. All right, where was I at? I'm lost. All right, there I am. And then what do we got over here? Got a bunch of random movies over here. Good shit collection right here. Love the Deathstalker films. Deathstalker 4. And you got 1, 2, and 3. Actually, no, just 1 and 2. Bullet Collector. That was a very interesting, like, artistic film. Kind of disturbing, too. I would recommend checking it out. Bunch of Blu-rays here. Just random stuff. Got the Mimic films, Manhunter, Let Me In, love the vampire. I actually love the original and the remake. Good shit. Got all the Omen movies. I picked these up from Goodwill not too long ago. And marathon them, really good shit. But I heard this, I don't know if this is the remake. I heard it was really bad. We got all the Puppet Master movies. I still have the stickers on them for some damn reason. $1.99 from Goodwill. Penumbra. This is a really good Spanish horror film. Highly enjoyed that. Definitely would recommend Penumbra. And this is fucking awesome. Project Metal Beast. I won't tell you too much about it because I don't want to spoil it, but the cover is badass and the movie is pretty much as badass as the cover, which is not always the case with those type of movies. Then we have one of Albert Pune's worst movies of all time, Urban Menace, with Fat Joe, Big Pun, and Snoop Dogg. Texas Chainsaw Massacre on PSP over there by itself. And then we have a few films here, a few down there. Where we at here? Shockma is a great killer monkey film. Definitely check that one out. Shredder. I love my slasher winter films. Shredder is definitely cool. Axe. It's an axe. It's a guy with an axe, but there's a amazing, like, what is it called? Where you throw like timber and wood and like shit into like this giant thing that chops it up and stuff. Is it called a shredder? Yeah, it is called a shredder, probably.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
But there's a great scene where someone's thrown inside of a shredder. It's so badass. Ravenous. Guy Pearce. Cool shit. Rats. Bruno Mattei, man, this is a really good killer rat film. Rodents is not very good. And Revenge of the Rats, I don't think is very good either. We got Charles Bronson, little section down here. And then we got Schwarzenegger stuff right there. A lot of this stuff at the bottom is just random shit I'm not going to go over. We'll go over the last section here and call it a day. What do we got down here? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Wrong Turn films, Children of the Corn movies, and some more collection stuff. Alright, one last thing to show you here. This is basically my throne in here. No couch. It's really not enough space for a couch in here. So this is my redneck chair fully loaded with hydraulics. And that's how I retro game and watch all these DVDs and Laserdisc. Alright guys, that's it. That's the 2025 movie room tour. And I'd hang out with you guys a little bit longer, but, you know, I got to drink some beer and hang out with David Carradine and watch Future Force. Hell yeah! Listen, calm down. You're getting way too jealous. You're blowing things out of proportion. Everything's going to be all right. Calm down. Listen, I only showed the other consoles because we were talking about shelving. This is not a video game video. This is a movie room tour video. And plus, you're too large. You can't even fit on the shelf. Shh. The others will hear you. Listen, I want to tell you a secret. You're the greatest console of all time. You're even better than the 60 gigabyte PS3. I love you. I promise I'll make it up to you. Later on tonight, I'll put a Sega Genesis cart inside you.